Well, now we got one of those talk the villain into going away endings, I suppose. This time around, if it can be called that. Although we mostly found out that he's not really the villain. Although that also mostly happened in the other example I'm thinking of, but I can't name it because I'm realizing that this is spoilers. You could just randomly. That's the rough thing about wanting to compare stories of games you're playing to other games, is that oftentimes it just means surprise, infliction of this thing happened in that other game too. Which sometimes I'm bad about, but also how the fuck else do you talk about games sometimes? Ah, that's that entire floor. There's the one floating crystal guy and the info dump. Cool visual. He goofed up hard. He accidentally inflicted a horrible, painful death on himself in his panic while trapping himself here. So is this it? Is it time for the master below? Achievement unlocked. Last 5 levels of Adnua. Complete the last 5 levels of Adnua. I guess that means this is the last floor. I guess that explains that. This thing is, does it all look like hell now? It definitely looks like a freaky, different, like some sort of underground civilizations down here. There are Zaurups all the way down here. So like monster-wise, we're right back where we started on the first floor. There's Zaurups this deep down. I guess, yeah, they had the sacrificial pit that was to help the Drake, and the Drake was supposed to be here because of the Lord of the Deep. The master below. So I guess that would mean that the Zaurups are in on it. This is all a grand Zaurup conspiracy. Oh no, the Zaurups have not gotten stronger. But I have. I have gotten much stronger. You know what? Come for me. Let's do this. Let's show me what you got. What they've got appears to be mostly gibs. Lots of gibs. Warm air pulses through the aperture. We do what we must because we can. Yeah, this almost seems familiar. It reminds me of the demon ruins from Dark Souls 1. The particular, like, style of, like, the sudden emphasis on kind of loosely packed together brick structures and, you know, the demons. I'm sure we're all running off of a template here of some sort. I see giant Adra. Is that a foot? Am I gonna find a screenshot of this map on a fetish blog somewhere? Okay, let's fight. Everyone target the priest, because the priest has all the nasty tricks, and as a result, everyone else will get they'll find their nearest dancing partner, and everyone's gonna get smacked. There you go.
Right.
Getting our Adra monies. No one ever accused me of not profiting off of this. Okay, he's very oh, it's gone. Okay. He was very shiny for a while and I wasn't sure why. Feel a little bad killing so many lizard folk.
Laying low.
I think lizard folk are kind of neat.
Look, the statue. We've reached the very depths at last.
Is this where Kana just reveals his massive interest in feet? In massive feet? The stairs ahead have crumbled away, leaving you at the edge of a dark pit. You'll have to proceed down carefully, and climbing back up may be difficult. This sounds like one of those point-of-no-return drops that video games always use to trap you into a battle arena of some sort, such as the fight against the Master Below. Stay put. Quick save. The shifting rocks and crumbling wall make progress slow and treacherous. In the last stretch before the bottom, Kana steps on a loose stone and rolls the rest of the way to the bottom. You find yourself at the bottom of a wide basin, looking up at titanic boulders and Aedra formations. Yep. And now we're trapped. Time for the boss fight. Absolutely, right? Can we even get back up? Maybe we can. But that's probably the type of interaction though that can keep me from retreating though once the fight starts. Is it going to be a dragon? What should I expect the master below to be? It's a dragon. God damn it. It's an Aedra dragon. Alright. Pillars of Eternity is definitely working within existing tropes. Aedra dragon. From under a cloak of gloomy shadow, lit only by the sickly hues of the Aedra statue, emerges what can only be a dragon. Vibrant, living Aedra plates its hide, and the movement of its great joints is like the grinding of boulders. The dragon stretches itself up to its full height, its horns looming like towers. And then it lowers its head, turning its sharp and intelligent gaze upon you. Oh, yeah, it's about right. Huh. If this thing flies, it's definitely flying with magic, because nothing made of that kind of material is gonna go flapping around and getting air. Not that dragons ever make sense.
Here you are, nearly at the heart of the world. What a journey you have made.
It's an it's an elemental Aedra dragon that has the whole male and female voices playing at the same time thing. Holy shit. Oh, it's a trope singularity. This is impressive. In a rumbling, lilting cadence of growls and hisses, the dragon speaks. Its teeth gleam like ivory spears. You are the master below?
Yes, the master below. You have found her. Kadnua is mine, as is all that lies beneath it.
Okay, so she's just explicitly female then. They're just doing a voice thing, not the both genders thing. A laugh like rolling thunder echoes through the caverns. You hear the clatter of debris as stones shake loose from far above.
How fortunate you are to learn such well-guarded secrets. All it has cost you is your life.
She settles a golden-eyed gaze upon you. Her eyes are blue, excuse me. Like Frodo. So you were the one they spoke of all this time?
In a fashion. Think on it. How many hundreds of souls killed by fawning Zorips, or devoured by trolls? Dashed against sealed doors, dragged screaming into dark pits by spiders. All to see what you have seen. A gate into the past. The history of a fallen people. The haunted treasures of a mad king. The final monument of a distraught father, an old man weeping in the dark. And each and every man and woman that falls comes here, to this place, to me.
What is this place?
All that remains of a dead man's greatest wish. A grand memorial, or merely a sorry little tomb. More than Ardnua's precious son are buried here, of course. Many more. It is where the Aedra veins converge, before descending into the hollows of the world.
That is what calls you all down here, in the end, though it lies now beyond reach. Do you feel it, now that you are so close? That pull towards transformation? You have much to answer for, beast.
Don't be so grim. Were you not warned? Turn back. Beware. Turn back. Never. Not you.
The dragon lets out a hissing laugh.
I have seen your Cadnua. Have seen it rise and fall and rise again. Is it still rubble and weeds, or have you made more of it?
I was here before the Adirans raised a single stone. I am older than the steps which led you here. I am bound to this sorry memorial, and you are no more master of it than you are of me. Does she normally kill everyone that comes around her? Then I just wonder, like, who built the steps that were built when she was already here? Seems like she'd be kind of an obstacle to that, unless she just wanted to have steps that lead people to her, I guess. The Zarops definitely seem to worship her, knowing she's here. Boy, the Drake's self-grandeur is really really funny at this point, when this is what's down here. But you are the only one to have come so far. I cannot allow you to leave, not now that you have seen this place. You said you are bound here. You know what power lies within the soul. Everything here, living or dead, knows it, feeds on it, thrives on it. I fed upon Adnua's slaves while they toiled, and then, once I had grown, upon the Titan and the living veins of the world. To go from a single, feeble intelligence to hearing the voices of hundreds, perhaps that sounds familiar to you. The statue survives, in part, as do I. We are much changed, the both of us. She raises Aedra-laden wings, raised above you, like a second ceiling. Nothing can feed upon the souls of thousands and remain the same. What will you do when the Aedra is gone? What indeed? Am I to dig my way free, follow your tracks up and out of this place? There's a rumbling growl underlying the dragon's speech. Already the Titan is not as it once was. I have a few centuries yet before the remainder has lost its power, and then I will starve. But that hardly helps you here and now. So you are trapped here. I came to this place as a hatchling. I was yet small, and my wings light. You will note that I have grown. The dragon stamps one mighty foot upon the earth, and the ground quakes. So too has the Aedra weighed me down. But I am not wholly trapped. No. The mind wanders, and like your ciphers, I can cast myself beyond the limits of my bones, only my reach is far greater than theirs. All that has happened since Adnua's fall, I have witnessed firsthand. The fall of cities, the death of languages, war, pestilence, the mundane lives of farmers and kings alike. Entire days I have lingered in the low consciousness of people 100 leagues apart, but in time, always, the body calls.
And here I return. The endless tide of treasure hunters. Adnua's sorrow. I have observed 100 lives upon the surface, and all are dear to me. But the flesh reigns.
There is not much Aedra left. No. And in time, I, like all who walk these paths, will die as well. Is there no way to free you?
Do you mean to dig me free? There may be a way, if you are willing. I cannot send the whole of my soul afield, not at once. But if you were to take something of mine past the boundaries of this place, I could obtain a new living vessel, a body with which I might wander the world, as you do.
Oh, you are just a regular dragon underneath. Still. It's like a... Actually kind of got a Velcana thing going on. A few different monster hunter creatures. Because yeah, you can see these feet down here are still just dragon feet. So it's just plating. Huh. So her wings are fucked up. Because that means she did used to have normal wings. These aren't like magical, like... Oh, I was born with Adru wings and somehow they fly or whatever. Now that she can really fly when she's down here anyway. To an extent, this is like... How do I put this? This entire game's about mortality and immortality and the concept of the soul and soul as currency and soul as permanence and like... Everything returns to the wheel and comes back again, and you have the legacy, which leads to a famine of souls, where people come back and they don't have souls, and new people are born, and but they're not people correctly. Then you have all these devices that use souls to power them, and then you finally have this character, the most successful immortal character we've met so far, perhaps. And it's only a burden to them. Like, she's gotten to witness everything and persist and so on. But she's just been sitting here in this basement alone her entire life. Being well aware of what's going to end her and how doomed she is and where she will end. And still she intends to just wait it out, essentially. Like, she'll be dead after a few centuries, and she can see, like, she has a progress bar, essentially, in the form of this, statue, just showing how much longer she has to live before she finally just is consumed, once again, by worms. So even her version of immortality still is temporary. It took an entire kingdom and the obsession of a powerful man to make the power source that just lets her live for a while. Though there were some other ones upstairs. She's not the only person that's managed to live this long, although the other ones are in their... Yeah, because the other guy was a vampire, so he was dead, but back. A vessel. So I would have to kill someone. We can not kill, but yes, someone of sufficient power that my soul will not burn their flesh to cinders. I have observed such a person in my journeys. There is a dragon hunter, Fallon Road, who has girdled her soul against such threats. I would be lying, dwarf, if I said I did not also enjoy the irony of it. She lingers at the shrine of Galawain, within the scorched forest, the Black Meadow. Perhaps she means to rekindle that fading sense of victory. The dragon's laugh sends vibrations through your sternum. But what will you do in this new body? The dragon looks up, toward the dark, upper reaches of the cavern. I know not. Live out a final story. Everything which occurs to me, once I am free. And what is to be my reward for this? The death of this form, in time, your life, and what wealth I can give you. It's a somewhat more complicated concept than first thought. Or at least there's arguments to be made in the different directions as opposed to just dragon bad, evil, kill. Because the dragon grew up here, it's never been able to live a life anywhere else, so it's been trapped in a place and just eating anything it can to survive. So it's not entirely fair to judge it for what it's done so far, but at the same time, we don't exactly have a pledge of morality for its life going forward, so who knows what it's going to do when it's out there. And you have to kill somebody, essentially, because you're giving their body to the dragon. But at the same time, there's some complications, because one, I'm an explorer. I'm all about finding these kinds of things. Like, my character inherently has the background that would lead to them going to the bottom of Adnua and doing this kind of trek, more so than perhaps any other origin story. Is that he specifically thrives on these kinds of experiences and finding these creatures. Specifically, he's a chanter. He's a chanter explorer, which means he's an explorer and a historian. So, even ignoring the actual story of the game, I've encountered one of the most ancient beings in the entire world. And so killing it is a really strange thing for me to do, even though there's moral arguments for why I would do that. Here's where perhaps the behavior code of my character comes into conflict with their own self-interest to an extent, because this is the kind of thing that they're supposed to be into. But then I said that as being ignoring the story. If we take into account the story, we're fighting some kind of seemingly invincible super being that we have no idea what to do with. He's some kind of monster that jumps from soul to soul and always comes back with the same consciousness, and the only person we've ever met that could reasonably be old enough to also know his history while also having the ability to send their consciousness around and observe the world all that time is the Ager Dragon. Like, she is omniscient, almost. Not exactly, but a form of it. Definitely the closest to that as you could ever get for something that's been alive that entire time. Like, she could know all sorts of things about the main villain of the game, and even be an ally against him, in a way that no other character you couldn't reasonably expect to encounter another character that would be a reasonable ally against that guy. Everyone else is just some warrior character you recruit. There's some complications here. There are weirdly some greater good arguments and some explorer arguments, but ultimately there's so many good bad things going in every direction that, like, I think anyone can just justify their choice to themselves, essentially. Because you're still potentially letting another evil loose on the world. And you're also potentially... Well, not potentially, you are basically killing somebody. But we do have the warped morality of... There's the gap between modern morality and like fantasy RPG morality, in that we kill so many sentient creatures every episode, basically. We're gonna have a death toll of thousands by the time this game is over. And just the simple act of exploring an area means that we're going to kill even more people that are sentient, and we know that going in, and we still choose to explore, knowing that if we hadn't gone there, we could have avoided deaths. It's all iffy and weird. And she's also admittedly not going to escape as a dragon. She'll be a human, apparently. Did she say human? Well, it's a dragon hunter. She'll be a Kith instead of an Ager Dragon. So we're not letting this creature out. We're letting her consciousness out. It's like a second chance. But it comes at the cost of somebody else. With a horrible irony of not just killing somebody, but insulting them in their death by having them be possessed by a dragon when they're a dragon hunter. part of me is definitely just way too curious about this. Both as a player and as the explorer character that I made. And the historian, enchanter. I'm sure Kana's interested too, to some extent. But hey, if I say that I'll help, I can probably still meet this other character without necessarily choosing to kill them yet. And so I could still delay the choice a little bit more. Maybe. I don't know. It's certainly an interesting choice, more interesting than getting to the bottom of a dungeon and fighting a dragon, which is peak fantasy RPG, I suppose. I will help you.
Then take the amulet. You will need to convince her by some means to place the amulet about her neck. With that conduit between us, I will have the means to displace her soul and gain my freedom.
But first, you must return to the place where you slew your predecessor. Set that scale upon the Titan's hand, and I will then move my soul within it, once you are out of reach. Return to the place where you slew your predecessor? You mean Adnua? I guess? But he didn't die. I didn't slay him, he just left. But that's not where the Titan's hand is. The Titan's hand is on the first floor. Right? Huh.
Know this, I will not be easily betrayed, nor will mere stone contain me if I do not wish it.
I'm confused. Are you suggesting that you could just leave if you wanted to? Because then why don't you just leave? St. Ifan's Knot.
Mind your step, little thief.
Sorry. Don't go over there, says the game. Stop exploring. Okay. I'll take that warning. I was right about this being a thing to block me in for the fight. You climb the rock slowly, steadily, and blah blah blah. We're climbing. I guess we just gotta go all the way back up here. I'm certainly curious. St. Ifan's Knot. Imaran legends hold that St. Ifan created a miraculous knot that the faithless could not untie. A daring burglary recently cleaned out the myriad precious relics in the smith's hall of Immergal, where each treasure once stood. A string was tied, and each leading back to an intricate knot in the center of the temple. The burglar left a tantalizing clue in the form of a written prayer to St. Ifan, but the riddle has stumped the locals. Desperate to recover their artifacts, the priests have reached out to mercenaries and adventurers for help. That the faithless cannot untie. Alright, Zawa. You're pretty faithful. I'm not really sure if Durance is actually I don't know. There's a lot of hypocrisies and holes to be poked in a lot of the stuff he's always saying all the time, so it's kind of hard to tell if he is correctly faithful or not. An enjoyable moment being when we encounter another member of his religion who he decries as being unworthy, but then she gets her way and he doesn't. When it came to the woman at the temple. Oh, I've never been over here yet. Whoops. Oh, that's probably, yep, it's a shortcut back to the top. That's also a hand. Is the other guy's The other guy's hand. I didn't slay him either, though. And he's not really arguably my predecessor. He's just another guy that worked for that guy. Look at that. You can see the feet going down. The dragon doesn't show up on here, though. That floor's not here. You can see the guy encased in stone. We were all the way up here. Wow, when I meant the vampire. That was half the dungeon ago. Things really did escalate. Or accelerate, I mean. We very specifically did not escalate. We de-escalated in a literal sense, but I meant our pace really accelerated. Did like 3 floors, I want to say, and they took like almost an episode each, and then I just started going after we got back from the expansion. There's so much to do in these games. They're incredibly expansive. Like, I still have the task of there we go. Like, I still have the what's happening? Get out of my house. Oh, the lead and key are here. Hi. Hold there. A robed man stands in the doorway, his gaze moving between you and Kanarua. Oh, not this again. Now, of old times, Kana gnashes his teeth together, his face darkening with fury. Another robed figure, a woman, looks at you. So this is the Watcher. You made this very convenient, running to ground in the same place. Our hunting parties have joined, and we have the advantage of numbers. Do you? Are there more of you, or do you just mean that you have a wolf? Make this easy on yourself and surrender. We'll end it quickly. How did you get in here? We seek the company of shadows, that our labors may remain secret. The man smiles again. Kill them all. This does not end well for you at all. This is going to be kind of embarrassing, honestly. You're gonna die really badly. Everyone's gonna die. Oh god, they're all melting. They're all dying. They're all being burned. The lead and key is not very intimidating, except for their leader. Kinda looks over the bodies, shaking his head. What a waste. He turns to you. I don't see why they bothered. What harm can a broken tablet do? Or any artifact? They aren't even Glenfathans. How long do you think they were stuck waiting up here? Because we went all the way down. Kana smirks. A good long while, I hope. You did tell me it could stop Rauatai from trying to conquer the known world. Kana gives a startled laugh. That might be overstating it. It could have inspired peace, at least. He smiles thinly. If it existed. Kana prods a tooth with his thumb, thinking, it doesn't make sense. All they could know is that we were descending into the ruins, and that was enough to warrant their attack. What's your point? It seems like if either of us are going to find any answers, they aren't going to be in there. He jerks a thumb back toward the stairs. The lead and key knows something we don't, and they mean to keep it that way. Your enemies are mine. I owe you much for all that you've done for me. Perhaps there will be answers for both of us at the end of your journey. Glad to hear it. Let's go. And another... There's always more Grimoires. Huh. I almost forgot about Kana's quest as being a separate entity from just going down to Adnua in general. I feel like I completed that like a while ago. Wow, yeah. Yeah, Kana's quest was pretty early, actually. Because that right there is the generator things making the golem. So that was the floor before the one with the vampire, and even that was only the halfway point. After that, it was the Vitrak and other stuff going on, and the Sporlings. They crammed a lot in there. It's a really busy keep. Which is fascinating, because the keep on the surface has been abandoned for centuries. You stand at the center of the upturned palm, where the dragon just directed you to place her amulet. You place the amulet carefully on the palm. For a moment, nothing appears to happen. Then, as you look on, the Aedra gem begins to glow faintly, and then steadily, gleaming like the dragon's own golden eyes. The amulet is warm to the touch when you retrieve it, and seems to hum with power. This is actually getting a lot of experience. Like major spikes. Although it costs like 8,000 experience per level now. We're up there. I definitely would be lying if I didn't say that I'm curious to see what happens in this storyline. As opposed to just fighting a dragon and killing it. If I even could. There's that curiosity. Of like, just how strong was that thing? And could I deal with that? Because, the other dragon... Well,
It keeps coming along nicely.
We had one that was a major problem and one that kind of wasn't. 4 more hours, so we're not quite there yet. Can I talk to the... something you want? Oh right, Hero Vista is still working on this for another day. Let's look for the... Stronghold Treasury. Is that the keep? Or is that the Bright Hollow or the Warden's Lodge? You know what? Fuck it. We're still doing a Cadnua episode kind of thing. Let's explore my heavily renovated keep that I have largely not actually looked at while it's been being remotely renovated, mostly while I was doing stuff in Defiance Bay and White March. I feel like the fucking dragon should be able to help me. No, it won't help. It can't help me on the war because the war is not that kind of war. Hello. I take it you got all of the unique items. Vithrak brain? Oh no, I feel bad about getting stale, well, Stalgars aren't druids, that's just a thing that druids can turn into. But I feel bad for even having Vithrak brains as a concept. How much fucking money is in this inventory here? Oh my god. I'm at 74,000. I don't know what I had before. Whatever it is, it's not a massive spike at this point. This thing only has 3 uses. It's not even a very good heal. It's like, oh wow, cool, weird AoE heal trinket item thing, cool. And then you see that it has uses 3, and you're like, oh, it's a consumable. What a bummer. The Shroud of Mourning. That'll help me reach my resolve that I need to reach. The Red Reed Wand. This is a weird one. It has a Chanter spell. That's actually not that weird, it's just a summon. Whenever I say a Chanter thing, though, I assume it's a chant, not a vocation. But it's not. It's a vocation. Jesus. Free constitution on neck piece is pretty good. And decently damaging per rest ability. 12 reflex. I forgot about this. The morning gloves. Denial. Plus 5 dual defenses. Plus 10% attack speed. Plus 10 concentration, 15 interrupt. Minus 1 resolve. Plus 15 endurance on kill. What an item. What are you using by... I mean, this is just a cooler item. That's the wrong one. Oh, morning gloves are a glove item. 5 accuracy. 3 accuracy. Maneja. Oh, that's a ring. 9 deflection. Yeah, but these are cool. It's another on-kill bonus, which is kind of fun. It's too cool of an item to not use in my book. All right, so somebody had shittier deflection, didn't they? Oh, I was thinking of the accuracy. Still, 3 accuracy is not that much. I think, go away. That might be outranked by that, if it counts. Versus deflection. And faith and conviction. So what? Oh, is faith and conviction a different ability that they have? Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure if deflection can be suppressed. There's other, like, it might just be your core stats, I'm not actually sure. Resistance against crush and pierce. Defense against weakened attacks. A little bit of dexterity. Defense against poison at the cost of perception. But it's amusingly good against dragon breath attacks. So it's a fun helm to put on Eder or someone when it's time to fight a big dragon or something. I might sort through these between episodes a little bit more. I don't know. I'm bad at gauging loot against loot. None of them gave me resolve though, right? That's what I'm looking out for. I'm looking for resolve solutions. I'm at 16 now. This is where it'd be really handy to be able to like search through all of my items. Off the top of my head, I don't think anything... I don't associate any of my weapons with giving me resolve necessarily. My weapon does not give me resolve, right? We have a piece of equipment that gives me 3. We're probably not going to beat that. I need 4 more resolve, though. I can get some resolve for resting here in town. If it can be used to hurt or heal someone, I have it here for sale. We always have more to sell. Always. We gotta stay on top of it too, where the interface starts to lag a lot. Kind of already is. Listen, those Zaurups aren't gonna kill themselves. My god. 88 primal water. Yeah, I think I can afford to enchant stuff with fucking water enchantments. You don't have anything, right? Oh god, how would I even know anymore? Because he sells all the stuff that I've sold him. But I think he didn't really have anything cool to begin with. I'll buy stuff that helps me open doors. That's worth just jamming in my inventory somewhere. No, don't give it to him. Put them in the all inventory.
Right.
Alright. So that little box over there, that was where apparently my whole thing was this whole time. My stash.
You've done it. I felt the change from here. It's as if there was a noise, a voice, underlying every sound in the keep, and I had simply ceased to notice. Silence now seems almost strange. You have done what the Earls, their descendants, and hosts of explorers could not. There is nobody left to challenge your claim. You are well and truly Master of Cadnua. We have known that from the beginning, of course. But now, all the world will know and share my pride in your accomplishments.
8 prestige and security. What is the state of the keep? I have to say, my lord, you've done an impressive job of restoring the keep's defenses. I don't think a mouse could sneak past the walls. Well, on to business. Alright. Shit. We are going back out into the world. Let's review which side quests are still actually in existence. Adair has a goal. Durance has a goal. Sagani. Grieving Mother. Palagina. The Abbey of the Fallen Moon. I would still expect that to be an expansion location, right? I don't think I know.
If you say so.
I believe we did yours
Safe
now.
travels.
Right, you're busy. A few of these people are busy. I'll just bring Maneha back into the party for now. What was that sound for? Oh, because people are leveling. Hey, Sagani, been a while. No. You do not put Adair in the back. That is not how this works. That'll have to work.
Hey.
I'm ready.
Tell me.
I'm here.
Yep.
Your thoughts
They
must flow
definitely
deeply
reset
indeed.
your behaviors. Frustratingly. There we go. Alright, God, how far behind on level are you guys? 12, 12, 11, 12, 8, 10. Been a while, Sagani. Huh? Yeah, it has. I got a few different goals. One, I'm trying to do everybody's quests. And see if I can follow up on more of those as we explore. One of my goals is to go further east. And just keep going out past Deerford Village and poke around. Because if I continue down the main story, we're going to enter the next act. So I'd like to get other stuff done first if I can.
Amazing. You could fit a whole village in here.
Yeah, we haven't been to the shop yet. We haven't been to most of these places. So one of my goals is just to take all of these people and try to see which quests I can resolve before we continue on to the next chunk of the story. Because I believe I know, you know, it's been a while. I should review my quest log. Ah, no, we're not even done yet. I'm wrong. I thought we'd finished all of the tasks that Lady Webb sent me on, but I still have to go to Deerford Village. So actually, we're still in this chunk of the story.
Well met, friend.
Greetings, my lord. I thank you for restoring our chapel to its former glory. I am certain the gods look favorably upon you. I have gathered what scrolls I could find. Perhaps they can be of use to you in your travels. Buy them from me. Even though I run this place, buy them. Funny. May the gods guide and protect all who seek their blessing. But now I'm trying to remember, did Hiravis even have a quest?
Amazing. You could fit a whole village in here.
Or did Hiravis just kind of join because he was bored? Shit, what was it? What's his story?
Greetings.
It's good to see you, my lord. I have all manner of odds and ends here, acquired from every corner of the Deerwood. Spider venom, scolder ears, anything you might wish. Certainly. Oh yeah, here's where you get your Vithrak brains and other enchanting items. Oh yes. Yes, yes, yes. I should look into some of my enchantments here. Like, you still have a fine enchantment. You should really have exceptional by now. We have the brains to show for it. I'm not sure if I want to commit to White Forge. I want to use these, it's just hard, it's hard to tell if I want to commit to this particular weapon or not. Oh, that'll make them scarier. Whereas you can't be enchanted, and you can't be enchanted. Your shield can be enchanted. An Aedra Dragon Scale. Wow. There's a higher tier above that. Bog Dragon Scale. That's a higher tier than the one for killing the thing at the end of Odnua. It does kind of give away that there's an Aedra Dragon, doesn't it? It's kind of interesting to see that just casually hanging out there. Do you just casually have a fucking Aedra Dragon Scale on sale? Awakened Aedra. No, you don't. It would have been weird if you did, but at the same time, I'm disappointed because it would have been useful also. I should really give you exceptional by now, though. That's right, I put brains in your shield. Your shield is brains now. It's not distressing, you're distressing. And you can't enchant your weapon. Ah, your weapon can be enchanted. It's got damaging too. Well, now it's exceptional. But yeah, a lot of these people have different things entirely. Did I already choose? No, the fact that these are sitting here and over here means I'm trying to make up my mind of whether I want to switch to them or not. And some of these weapons are even come pre-superb. That one's superb. This one is accuracy 2. I can never remember because I look at these skills too much now. That I look at them so often that I forget if I have them yet or not. No, I got Mental Fortress, so I did not commit to Noble. So I don't have to stick with Rapiers. I could switch to something crazy. Like Drawn in Spring. Or Edge of Reason, which heals you. And is already superb. Should probably switch these. The healing one should probably be your main weapon. So this one's superb. This one doesn't have Kith. And shocking. Freezing. Go away. I don't want to look at you anymore, other items. Because I'll sit here and agonize over whether or not I need to use you forever. There are so many traps in both of your inventories. You have both served that purpose in the past, but for once you're in the same party at the same time. I don't know. I think one of the reasons why the choices of a gear can be kind of tough is because deep down, a lot of them are simultaneously valid, probably. Oh god, you need to... 3 perception's pretty good, though. But you could do with gear in general. No, not the minus perception one. Be kind of a bummer. And that's my only helm right now. Unfortunately. I mean, yeah, perception's good for an archer. Bonus dexterity. Do you have dexterity yet? Those are you still have full Vano. Whoa, blast from the past. Blast from the past. Oh, those are spell rings. Nope. Even this late, I still have somewhat of... That's 10% damage. There's still some struggle of trying to keep up with the number of items you'd potentially want to give to your party members, because there's so many party members. 1 perception, 2 dexterity. Did I just give you this as dexterity? Like that's not worth it. But is 2 dexterity better than 10% crit? Probably not. Fuck it. I'm gonna agonize over stats forever. And you're basically not even wearing items. You're the character I'm always surprised by when I come back and see, like, you're wearing what? Nothing? You have 1 focus gain item? Plus 25% focus gained when endurance is above 50%, while, and 2 intellect. Yeah, yep. Better. I was saving that for you, and now I can finally give it to you, because you're finally in the party again. Give you a couple dexterity. Who cares what the boots are? You're not wearing any. Take the stats. Take them. What a chest piece to be wearing still. Increase healing received. We don't want to wear anything super heavy. Her firing rate already sucks, and that's how all of her focus is gained. Those are my primary special items. She's using minus 15. That's a noteworthy amount of increased damage. Reduction. God, it's ugly. It's so ugly. Whereas that makes her look like the other character in the party. I'll take the padded over it, I guess. DR10. That's an alright look. That moment where I find myself picking gear because I just like how it looks better than the other ones. That's what we've come to.
Yeah.
I just really didn't like looking at the other ones. You don't sell potions. Dozens of spider legs protrude from the necks of these bottles. Essence shimmers within these bottles. Yeah. What I want to find is somebody who can increase my resolve. But we'll be checking the inn out in a moment to see how much that increases my resolve. We gotta hit 20. And guess what?
Ballard, well done.
Right.
A formidable fortress in the old style. We don't build them like this anymore, you know. Not by the sea. Too vulnerable to cannons.
Proper keeps don't exist by the sea. Because of the cannons. I figure not specializing in resolve is no reason to give up on specializing in resolve. It would have been easier if Kana had specialized in the increased resolve spell. Is that Aloth? Oh yeah, he's just hanging out. How may I be of service? Yep. Characters I'm not using just kind of have a home somewhere in the base. That's nice. How much resolve can I get? +3. Oh shit. That's a lot of resolve. Yeah, give me that chapel bonus. So now I only need 1? Surely I have like a resolve potion somewhere or something, right? We've constructed another thing. I'm pretty much just going to click on whatever. I think that's the last thing besides the walls I have to rebuild because they broke. Yeah, those will take a while. I think these all say completed and not purchase, but purchase is the same color, so it's you gotta really keep an eye out. And yeah, that's it. This is the final upgrade that isn't rebuilding the walls again. I should see 19, right? 19. Yes. Come on, tell me there's like a beer in my inventory that gives me 1 resolve. There's got to be a beer that gives you resolve, right? Your confidence goes up or whatever. Damage reduction. Damage reduction. Fuck you. Where's resolve? Constitution. Come on. I swear to God. This is where a search function would come in handy. Is just the fact that this game is such a nightmarish amount of items. That how would you find anything in it? The fish gives you intelligence. Come on, man. One of you gives me resolve. I know you do. Intellect and perception comes from jerky? Fucking what? Don't do this to me. Don't tell me you give every stat except resolve. You can't do this to me. Scroll of Maelstrom, Boiling Spray. I'm gonna click on any of the ones that don't sound like an attack. To see if, and those might give me... Basically, if I can't tell what it is, Valor, accuracy. That's a fire spell. Swarm Locust. +3 lore. How do you even have a scroll temporarily give you lore points? What does that even mean? Youthful spirit, athletics, right? That makes sense. Stealth. It summons a swamp lurker. I'm guessing that traps aren't going to give me resolve. Recovery, reflection, displaced image, regeneration against the elements, vital essence. Some more healing. Iron skin. I'm about to look at everyone's fucking spells. Potion of power. Wrong kind of power. Eldritch aim. Fleet feet. -4 intellect. No! Svef increases your move speed and attack speed, and then you lose resolve when you crash. Damn it. I don't want to lose... At least give me resolve when I take it. And then take it away afterwards. I'll take that bargain right about now. There's a lot of crashes. Snow cap crash. But none of the drugs increase your resolve either. They just decrease it during the crash. White leaf and goldratt shoe might and reduced perception. I checked all of them. There's so many items that buff literally every stat but resolve. Why is resolve such a hidden magical stat that's so hard to increase? Aha. That's where you can increase your resolve, is the gear. Except I already have, I of course already have gear that's giving me 3 resolve, so it'll get suppressed. So that doesn't work either. The ending of this episode has become like a fucking odyssey of me trying to find out how to solve this problem I have. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be. Just need 1 point. 1 point. You're a brain blaster, right? Except I probably haven't been taking the buff people's stats things. That increases her stats. I've been leaning on attack spells more likely. And debuffs, more so than buffs.
I'm here.
Where you basically don't have abilities, you just auto attack. Come on, you son of a bitch, you have 500 spells. Cleansing fire. Whoa, 25 resolve. Is it self-cast, you bastard? Whoa. 25 what the fuck? Why is anything that strong? But I have to be in combat, right? Well then. I suppose that means I need to find myself a fight. That really nullifies all of the other efforts I've made. It's all this effort to just get a little bit of resolve. And then I find a spell that gives plus 25? What the fuck? For 40 seconds.
You can trust me.
Jesus. Why does something that strong even exist?